So many times I have thought of getting into a new routine or acquiring a new habit or getting rid of an old habit. But every time I tried, it only became harder and harder and harder to get into a new routine or acquire a new habit. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Success Vitamin Talk with me, Pritha Dubey. I am a sales professional turned a sales coach and the creator of Success Vitamin. And today, I am very thrilled to have with me a very dear friend and a colleague, Kavita Maiyani, who is a behavioral change coach and a habit coach. And she is today going to tell us and talk to us about the power of conscious, a tool, a magic formula that will help us change routines or acquire new habits. So, Kavita, welcome to the Success Vitamin Talk. And we are very happy, and I am personally very thrilled to have you here. And something that I would like you to first touch upon is what is this power of conscious? Because I have, of course, personally seen you in action when you were explaining this concept. And I very strongly feel that every listener, every viewer must also hear this concept from you. So, what is this power of conscious?
Sure, Pritha. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to be here. And most of the times we hear of the power of the subconscious mind. And while we cannot deny that, we need to know that for us as adults, if we really need to change anything about ourselves, be it a habit, be it a pattern of behavior, any trait we want to change in ourselves, it's only the conscious mind that is going to come to our rescue because there's no other formula for adult change except utilizing the power of the conscious mind. That's what
Okay.
this is all about.
So, how do we utilize the conscious then?
Okay, so that's an interesting question, and that calls for a very quick activity because that will help us clarify the relation between the conscious and the subconscious. Are
Okay.
we game for a quick
Yeah,
game?
sure. Absolutely. Let's do
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So the name of the game, Pritha, is left and right. It's a very simple game actually. We all know this is our right hand, this is the left. In the game, when I will quickly be calling out left and right in quick succession, all you have to do is bang your opposite hand. On left, bang your right hand. On right, bang your left hand. Are we ready?
Oh, yeah. Okay. All
Very
right. Give me
simple.
a second.
And
Yeah, all right.
if you miss, then just give me a thumbs up sign,
Okay.
and we'll stop.
Sure.
Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So left, 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 right, 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 right. Okay.
Okay,
Did
you
you
got me.
miss?
You got me. Yeah.
Okay. So it was a very simple game where you had to just do the opposite, right? Now, how does this very deeply link to the conscious and the subconscious concept? Think about this. We learned that this is right and left at what age, Pritha?
I don't even remember. I mean, probably since the time I would have gained consciousness, I would have known that this is right and this is left.
Yes. So, right, even before kindergarten, we knew that this is right
Yeah,
and this is left, right? And
true.
here in the game, suddenly I'm asking you to change that.
Correct.
So, what exactly did you do to get it right now? How did you get the opposite correct here? What did you do while playing the game?
Oh, I had to be very conscious. Contrary to whatever I know
Uh,
about these left, right,
hmm.
I have to now behave just the opposite. So, yeah, I had to be very conscious while playing this game.
Sure. And when we say conscious, you were very alert.
Yeah,
You were
alert. Yeah,
listening, you were listening to my words very intently, very carefully, and then taking the opposite action. So there were a lot of things you were actually doing to get it right. Right?
absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
now think about this. If we have to look at the way the human mind, the adult mind is structured, this is how I would say our mind is right now. When we look at
Okay.
this picture, and if I were to tell you that these are sea waves,
Mm-hmm.
what what do you think the structure is?
Oh, then this is an iceberg.
Yes, it is an iceberg, and we know the peculiarity of the iceberg. What's the peculiarity? Hardly 10% is above the water surface, 90% is submerged, and
Correct.
the same way the adult mind is also functioning, which means just 10% of our mind right now is conscious, 90% work is done by our subconscious. And what's the
Wow.
proof of that? If you have to look at the proof of that, Pritha, I'm sure you drive, and when you drive a vehicle, who drives for you? Your
I mean,
conscious or your subconscious?
oh yeah, okay. My subconscious drives it for me. Now it is my subconscious, of course.
Right. Unless something comes suddenly in the way and you have to apply sudden brakes, that time your conscious takes over, takes care of the situation, and hands back the charge to the subconscious, right? And then again,
Okay.
your subconscious drives. Of course, while you were learning, who was more active when
Oh,
you were learning to
conscious.
drive?
Of course. Of course.
The conscious, right? And this is how all habits and patterns are formed. So when we were children, the whole composition of the mind was exactly the opposite, because as children it was 90% conscious, hardly 10% subconscious. So
Wow.
what happened to this child when he became an adult? This is what happened to us as children, because the subconscious was minimal and the conscious was, maximum. I
Oh.
started getting inputs from a lot of sources: my parents, teachers, elders, relatives, neighbors, experiences, stories I heard from everybody. They all started taking, deeper and deeper roots in me. So I received inputs, my 90% absorbed everything, the conscious
Hmm.
mind.
Hmm.
Out of all that I absorbed, there were a lot of things I repeated. I repeatedly either said or did. Remember the maths tables? We were made to repeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything that I repeated again and again and again started
Hmm.
taking deeper and deeper roots into my psyche. And that's how the subconscious became so vast that today this is the situation. Now the
Wow.
subconscious has become a big chunk, a big mass, and literally rules my life, dictates my actions. And that
Hmm.
is why change for us as adults is so difficult. When I say change to an adult, it's almost next to impossible, because look at the power. It's 90 versus 10,
Hmm.
right? Typically 90 wins, just like it happened in our game, left and right. Suddenly, while you were trying with your 10% to be in the game, 90% took over and you
Right.
lost.
Right.
And this is what happens with every intent, good intent that we have about changing ourselves. The plan is good, the action doesn't happen, because in the 90 suddenly takes over and the 10 loses. Does it mean that 10 is weak? Absolutely no. It means we will have to empower the 10% to be able to overcome the 90% whenever we need a change.
How do
So
we do
that's,
that? I mean,
hmm,
how is it possible? Now, this is theoretically, this sounds absolutely doable.
yeah,
But
yeah,
practically, when we are
hmm,
talking about, empowering that 10%,
yes.
and how exactly do we do that?
Sure. To simplify this understanding of how to really, really empower the conscious at the right time, let's take a simple example of waking up on time every single day. A lot of
Okay.
us struggle with that. So imagine I want to wake up at 6 o'clock every weekday, right? Who decides for me
My
that I
conscious
have to
mind?
wake up?
Yeah,
All decisions are taken by the conscious mind, right?
correct.
Who gets the order?
The subconscious mind.
Yes, we are saying that the subconscious gets the order because the relation between the conscious and the subconscious is that of the master and the servant. So the conscious mind is the master and the subconscious is a mere servant. Whatever the conscious decides, subconscious simply executes. It doesn't ask any questions, doesn't give any advice or suggestions. That's how the relation between the two is. So once my conscious decides, okay, Kavita, wake up from tomorrow at 6 o'clock every day, subconscious just takes the order. She goes off to sleep. In the morning when the alarm rings, what happens?
It
Yeah.
goes to, the alarm goes to snooze. 10 more
Ah,
minutes, 15 more minutes.
yes. So when the alarm rings, the conscious debates with itself, thinking, "Oh, I had so much of work and I will be tired today. Also, let me rest. It's okay." In those fractions of seconds, the conscious decides to sleep again, And the subconscious gets to understand for the first time that, oh, is it? When the alarm rings, it's okay to sleep for 15 minutes? Fine,
Yeah.
because it just has to obey orders. Now imagine I do this thrice in one day, which means in a month, I would have done this at least 50 to 60 times.
True.
Which means by the end of that 1 month, the subconscious has been made to believe by the conscious that when alarm rings, it's okay to sleep. When alarm rings, it's okay to sleep. So every single morning, when alarm rings, conscious says, Kavita, ut, time to go, time to run. Subconscious every day now says, are you crazy? Long time. It's just the first alarm. Three more to go. Sleep, sleep. Because of which I'm never able to get out of the bed because by now it's an established pattern for me not to wake up. So imagine now the next month, first day, there's an exciting event in my life. And for that, I have to wake up on time at 6 o'clock. What do you think will happen on that day?
If it's, I will wake up.
You
We will
will
wake
wake
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. And why will we wake up is because, like every day, alarm rings for the first time 6 o'clock. Conscious is Kavita, time to go. Pritha, time to go. Subconscious, like every day, will try to pull it down, saying long time, sleep. Now, that moment is the most critical. In this moment, the conscious does not listen to the subconscious at all, turns completely deaf, ignores the voice, suppresses the voice of the subconscious. Therefore, the conscious wins over 90%. 10 wins over 90% by suppressing the 90% voice. And Kavita is out of the bed. The whole day is in her control. Life seems under control, and she is very happy. Now, think about this. Next day, alarm rings at 6 o'clock again. The rule is for anybody, she will wake up if she listens to the conscious mind. If she starts again listening to the subconscious, she'll be back to the same pattern. So, if I have to break a pattern or make a pattern, all I have to do is listen to the conscious mind at that time and take action accordingly. Because of which the right input will go to the subconscious at least once, and then I do repeatedly, then it will go again and again, establishing a pattern in the 90%. After that, you don't have to worry. After that, it's a set pattern for you. You can start thinking of other changes for self.
Great. So, how what I am understanding, therefore, Kavita, in this
Yeah.
entire discussion is that, or
Yeah.
yeah, for the conscious to realize how powerful it is and start controlling the subconscious, we need to constantly be feeding the constant mind, our conscious mind, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
True.
At the same time, the
Hmm.
conscious mind also is a very smart mind, how I'm looking at it now.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And it does very quick evaluations.
Okay. Yeah.
So the conscious mind also does these evaluations wherein it decides
Hmm.
that, okay, whatever you are telling me to do,
Hmm.
what's in it for me? Like
Right.
most of us,
Yes.
whenever we are asking for any change, and that is
Yeah.
what we say, right, in change, that everybody, we will be able to influence the other person or anyone else to change
Hmm.
only if
Hmm.
we are able to show them some benefit. So when we are asking our conscious mind to change,
Hmm.
we need to show them certain benefit. Like you said, the event, or
Hmm.
for that matter, if there was a meeting that was early morning at 7:30, if a client would have called me for a meeting,
Hmm.
would I not have gone? I
You
would
would
have. I
definitely.
would
Yes.
have definitely woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning and gotten ready and all set, and probably there by 7:20 at the
Yes.
client's premise.
Yes.
Now, how did I make it? Because there was a very strong incentive that was
Hmm.
given to the conscious mind, which said that, boss, this time, if you goof up
Hmm.
and if you give the control to your subconscious,
Yeah.
know for sure you're going to lose this deal that you
Hmm.
have been chasing for months. It's a
Yeah.
lot of revenue for you.
True.
So,
Yes.
do you wish to, do you wish to go through all that pain?
Hmm.
And the conscious mind says, no way, that 10 minutes snooze. So
True.
I believe then, are we
Hmm.
saying that whenever we are trying to change a habit,
Hmm.
should we try and therefore keep a very, very strong incentive in front of our conscious mind?
Sure, Pritha. Now, even the incentive is decided by the conscious itself. Who makes it
Yeah.
an incentive for you? It's the conscious choice that this is an incentive for me. I need this. So, if we have to simplify what you're saying is and link it to the same concept again, any moment where I need a change in myself, which means in your case, waking up for the meeting, in my case, waking up at a regular time, in those moments, the conscious is always going to talk about the needs. Your self talk in the form of your conscious will be telling you of your needs. Need to go and attend the meeting, need to go and talk to the client. At that time, the subconscious will only talk of your wants. Oh, I want to stay for 10 minutes more and 15 minutes more. So, those moments, listen to the needs because that is that incentive decided by the conscious. So, given to your needs, not your wants.
Kavita, right now when we're talking about conscious and subconscious mind, the way you are putting it,
Yeah.
it sounds so easy.
Yeah.
And it also sounds as if, this conscious mind is in this room, subconscious mind is in the other room, and I have to just knock their doors and say, hello conscious, it's time for you to be powerful. Hello subconscious, it's time for you to just be quiet.
Keep quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is not how the case is. So, what are some simple ways that one can do, or one can, certain steps that one can take in order to make this an easy possibility?
Yes, Pritha. So while we simplified it by showing the iceberg, of course, the structuring of the mind is not like the iceberg inside. It's just one single brain representing both the conscious and the subconscious. So yes,
True.
it's me and my own voice representing both. So it can get a little complicated, of course. Simple thing, we need to again remember that any moment it will still be the application of the conscious mind. That's one. So if you have to really give some practical tips to make this possible, there are two things I would share here. One is called the 300 seconds rule.
Okay.
5 minutes. So if there's anything you want to start doing or stop doing, decide that you will either do it or not do it for just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes consciously. Immerse yourself in that action or stay away from that action consciously for 5 minutes. You will be surprised that you will not actually stop in those 5 minutes and you will continue. Because two things happened here. When you started, you took the most difficult step. That is the first step. So you overcame a big hurdle. And second, when you do that action for 5 minutes, it itself acts as an incentive and you feel motivated and you continue. Even if you stop in 5 minutes, that's completely okay. Next day, again, promise yourself consciously and do it for 5 minutes. And in bits and pieces, you will finish the task. That is,
Right.
a lot of people have tried it and benefited. Second, again, we call it the comparison method, where you will have to compare two things. Like, for example, waking up at a regular time. Yes, it is difficult. It is painful also, involves a lot of sacrifice, takes a lot of effort from my side, physical, mental. Let me compare, consciously compare what do I want. So, what do I compare? The pain and the effort and the sacrifice in actually getting up out of the bed versus the mental pain of not getting up on time and which builds over a period. So every single day when I'm not up on time, it is creating mental pressure. So I need to consciously compare and ask my conscious, what do you want? You want the everyday ease of, one time pain of pushing yourself and being relaxed for the whole day, or not getting up and then mentally struggling.
So there has
These-
to be a lot of self talk
Yes, and conscious.
with the conscious.
Empowering the conscious.
Conscious self
That is
talk that
so.
would empower the conscious.
Yes.
Beautiful. So, Kavita, you have been coaching a lot of people. You would know a lot of such people who have made this a possibility.
So very recently, from an IT company, there was this lady who was a manager, and she had a shift timing from 11 o'clock onwards, and she was never able to reach office at 11, and her whole team would keep waiting for her, and people would call out names, and she was not very happy. When she imbibed this concept and understood the power of the conscious, she started applying the conscious mind to wake up on time and reach office. And now it's been 2 months, and people are surprised and they have really changed their opinion about her. And she's so happy reaching on time, and her
Wow.
life is in her control. That is one recent example. Another recent example is of a manager in a manufacturing company where he was a little scared to delegate because it was a new market he was handling. He's into sales. So he was scared to delegate. When he heard about the power of the conscious, he consciously started delegating to his team. And he came back saying that now my team trusts me more, I trust them more. And my manager has actually complimented me saying, "You are nurturing your team very well." He said, "I didn't
Wow.
even start with that intent. I just started applying the conscious mind for delegation." But he got compliments from his manager. So lots of success stories with her to share.
Awesome, Kavita. This is so brilliant, and I'm sure that all of us, all the viewers and listeners who heard this concept from you today, and you have explained this so beautifully and in such a simplistic manner, I am sure that each one of us, if we start implementing, like you said, gradually, step by step, if we
Yes.
start feeding our conscious, doing that self talk with our conscious mind so that we empower our conscious mind, I
Yes.
believe a lot of those routines, a lot of those habits that we have been wanting to change for or get into for quite some time would become very easy, and it may not take so much of an effort by
Yes.
us.
True.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kavita,
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us here
It was
today.
a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
So, power to our own conscious. And with that, thank you so much.
So, like you all heard, it could be difficult, but not impossible to acquire a new routine or change our habits. All we need to do is empower our conscious mind. Whatever that is that we have been wanting for very long to change or to acquire a new skill, a new habit, a new routine, it is possible. Follow the 300-second rule that was suggested by Kavita. Try it for 5 minutes every day, every time, and then see how it is affecting you and how it is empowering your conscious mind. Feed information to your conscious mind on a regular basis. The success that you will achieve will help you inspire many more who are working with you. Take control of your mind and take control of yourself and go get all the success that you always wanted to. I will see you all in the next episode. Till then, stay safe and take care.